Hey guys, this is AZJASON, and this is Alliance War number 5 of Season 24. Again, we are on path number 8, and we're leading off with this 5-star Awakened Warlock. This is an amazing placement for a defender, and we're going to talk about why real quick. So, this particular node has something called this buff and balance power drain. Whenever the defender gains a buff, the attacker receives an indefinite power drain debuff, draining power. And so that doesn't sound like it's that much of a problem, but Warlock has this awakened ability where if the power is being drained, then the opponent, meaning me as the attacker, degenerates. So we've had our past alliance mates have a lot of trouble with this particular node, and I was really worried about this fight heading into it. But the cool part is I have a pretty amazing and perfect counter for Warlock on this node. And that is Venom. Why, you might ask? Well, this is my 6-star rank 2 Venom. And if you look at his abilities, there's one right there where it says Tech Champions Power Burn and Power Drain Immunity. So if I'm immune to the Power Burn, which if you go back to the actual node, right there. So if I'm power drained or power burned, then Warlock would degenerate me. But I'm basically immune. So I think that Venom is absolutely the 100% best possible counter for this particular node when an awakened Warlock is placed there. And I bet a lot of folks get trapped by that. So we are going to head in here with our Venom and see how it goes. So again, I've got some pretty good concern on this fight. I think we have a good solution, but we haven't actually tested it. So I am going to be using up some of the boost. Looks like I go in here with a champion boost of 20%. And I'm kind of thinking about a few other ones, but say we're going with power boost of 150% for Venom. And here we go. So again, absent Venom having this sort of immunity, I would be degenerating immediately, and it would be a chunk of my health. I don't know how much, but I'm guessing probably I'd lose 40% of my health right out of the gate, and I'm losing none of it. So this is basically a straight up Warlock fight. I have a 6-star rank 3 unawakened Warlock, so I'm very familiar with his animations, what to do from a SP1, SP2, and we're just kind of working it here up against a corner. I'm going to kind of back off and try and bait out this SP2. And he does it. So I'm at 96% health currently. He's at 54%. And I'm not running suicides right now, so I can throw my specials at will. I do have a slight infection on me, but again, not too significant. And I'm just going to sort of back off and attempt to bait out the SP2, but I got hit when he's kind of dashing forward towards me. Down to 6%, throw no special, and it's over. So again, I talked a lot on my alliance mates and did a lot of research, but ultimately I had the perfect counter for that particular fight. So again, I think Venom is the 100% best choice when you're trying to go in against Warlock on that particular node. All right, our next fight is going to be Medusa on the Section 1 mini-boss. Again, with this new Alliance War season, I'm actually quite enjoying the fact that we don't need to be waiting for our alliance mates to finish their paths. These are unlinked. The only links that now exist are up in Boss Island. Otherwise, for the most part, it's free sailing. When you have time and you have energy, you can kind of clear the paths you're assigned, and if you're feeling it, you can kind of get after the minis as well. Looking at the notes here, just trying to gain an understanding of what might transpire, but this is a perfect fight for my 5-star rank 5 SIG 200 Dr. Doom. I've got my 6-star rank 3 on defense, so he would be super fun, but honestly with protection global node, I might actually run into a situation where he'd hit so hard that I'd get thrown into protection after to start doing intercepts to clear. So 565 works just fine, and he's been putting in a lot of work here in season 24. So 100%, did get auto blocked and hit in the face. I think that might actually happen again. Kind of annoying, but he's super resilient even when I do get hit a few times here and there. I believe I'm only using him for this Medusa fight, and then I believe also for the Venom at the end of section 2. I'm trying to be a little bit safer here and not push into auto block. I see the living strands popped up again. Got blocked again, so you'd think I'd learned my lesson, but I think that's a second and final, I hope final, instance of me not paying attention and taking the auto block. So we're doing well, 87%. Just trying to get this last part. I got smart on the third attempt there and didn't decide to get hit in the face, so that was good. He's also getting some nice regen here. And I finished with, I missed it there, but roughly 90% health. All right, next fight. We have Aegon. You know, this might be Doom as well. This entire path is all about power control. So Doom is an amazing counter, and I've been bringing him almost every war. The common attackers tend to be Quake and Doom. And then depending if there's a Apocalypse sexual mini or boss, I'm bringing TIGRA. Little Archangel action. But for the most part, these are kind of the main attackers. The Venom was sort of an anomaly because of that Warlock fight and him having the immunity to Power Burn, Power Steal. And then there's also a Spider-Ham mini, which we're going to have an opportunity to be fighting here later. So, I mean, this is an Aegon. It is a 6-star. I assume it's a rank 3. Actually, I have my own version of it. So again, I'm very familiar with his specials, so know what to look for, some of the indicators, and then just get out of his way. I'm mostly intending to just bait out the SP1s, but if it trickles SP2, really not a big deal. Just kind of working on the Doom cycle, hit the SP1. Still some power. I'm almost back up to another SP3. So he throws his SP1. I think I've got 4 in the Mystic Dispersion Mastery, so I was able to parry a couple hits, heavy, right into this SP3, and he's going to drop from 65% down to 47%, and now he's stunned. Got the mediums, and then the light attacks against Steel Power, SP1, and we just continue the Doom cycle. I'm at 89% health, and we're at 60 hits basically at this point. And another SP3. This is about over. Easy peasy. Dr. Doom for the win. So for our next fight, we've got Venom. And I see we've got an Apocalypse waiting for us as well. So here's our Dr. Doom going in against this, say 5-star Awakened Venom. I see Venom on this node nearly every fight in nearly every war. I've seen Hyperion, maybe in section 1, maybe in section 2, but for whatever reason, Venom seems to be the pick here. It has to do with the number of buffs, but I just don't care because you've got Doom and you can get in the Doom cycle and power control, and it's over pretty fast. Now, he is on the verge of a SP3. I usually take that first part on the block and then Dex to get away from the rest of it. Stunned him, hit him a few times, heavy, and he's now an SP3, and this fight's about to be over. So we get the first Fury, went from 85 to 70%, and we're heading into the Doom cycle. He's an SP3, so it's a little bit sketch, but you do the SP1s, hit him with you do the light attacks, SP1, with all of his buffs you're nullifying, you get a huge, massive rush of power, basically, when you nullify all of his buffs. And he goes from 42% all the way down to 21%, so it's a 21% SP2, the second one. So again, a few mediums, lights, and he's dead before I can throw the SP1. So that fight went really, really well. And we are heading right into Apocalypse. So Tigra is my best counter for Apocalypse. I've tried Guillotine 2099, and she too is also a great option, but with some of my previous nodes, it's not quite easy to get her ramped up for this fight. So as I've gotten more comfortable with Tigra, I've been using her quite a bit. So we're heading in. So the things to be looking for on the, up by Tigra, she's got this orange and blue basic indicators. One has to do with power and one has to do with the ruptures. Unfortunately, I let those expire, so a lot of the damage has already been minimized. I'm just trying to get into the cycle, and it didn't quite work right away, but I'm just doing the heavy counter at this point, and then he's at SP1, and I start backing away. You dash back 3 times, do 2 light attacks to close the space, and then hold heavy. And when you're holding heavy, you miss all projectiles. So I would work my way back up to SP1, and now you see that orange indicator is up there, not the blue, just the 1. So at the start of the fight, she has both going. If you throw an SP3, she gets both going. Right now, I'm just trying to get ruptures going and maintain them. Unfortunately, I decided to take a complete special to the face, and I died. So that was less than awesome. So we revived and threw some health potions on her, and we're going back in because that first attempt was kind of pathetic, and he's at 3 charges now. So the good news is that when he throws light attacks, a second light attack would stun me. That is not in play at this point, but he is that much tougher. So I'm just trying to get into my cycle here of when SP1 comes about, I'm doing the 3 dash backs, 2 lights, you get in position, hold heavy, and then release. And you're building these ruptures. I'm at 6, 7 ruptures right now, 8, 10 ruptures. And pretty good spot, except my blue and orange indicators just expired, but he's already at 9%. So he's hit an unblockable special 1. It's almost like Ghost, where you do the quick dash back. And I just went in for the kill. So ideally, I would have got that solo, but just mistimed it, and with that SB2 to the face, I just completely died. So my teammates cleared the first 2 nodes, and I'm going in against Spider-Ham. My only real experience with Spider-Ham is on the monthly event quest, where he was obviously one of the bosses a month or so ago. At the time, I just knew that you didn't throw specials, and you can kind of telegraph the moves. Like, that's a special one, you just kind of back up and then you counter it. Spider-Ham can't evade Venom. That's just some of his inherent quality, so I thought this was a pretty straightforward fight. The node is also sort of a further evasion issue. And I'm trying to be smart here, but I'm definitely taking the degen damage, even block damage. I'm blocking some of these hits, but not too concerned at this point. But he's winning the fight at this point. I'm 60% and he's still at 80. So what happened there is I went and hit into his block, and I lost a significant amount of health. And now, unfortunately, I pushed him to SB2, which I'm not as familiar with. There's these pancake-looking things, and not awesome. Just trying to survive there, and I think one of his power stings got me. So, revived, and I talked to my alliance mates, and I'm still by far the best option with Venom, so I had to kind of suck it up and use some potions and revives to get him back up near full health. I'm going to play a little bit more conservative here and just try and get the bleeds going, and just trying to not push him up to another SB2. So I'm doing a fair job of that so far, and again, I hit into his block and he parried me, so I'm not sure if it's a mastery setup for this particular defender or what happened, but that could have been bad. He only got me with a 2-hit combo versus a 5, so didn't die, which is good. And again, not throwing special attacks, because I think there's a power sting associated with Spider-Ham, so trying to avoid that. And the bleeds are kind of doing some of the work here. Just really trying to not hit into the block and just maybe just parry and ultimately counter. So he's down to 11% for 2-1. He's dead. And that concludes the war. So overall, pretty successful. We're happy with the end result. And I did have to revive a couple times. I was 4-0 heading into the Section 2 Apocalypse, and then this one mini boss. So I had a pretty rough war 2 wars ago, so I'm starting to build up some momentum and feel good about where I'm at this far in the season. And hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great night.